Michael Scofield wasn't just smart, he was untouchable because of one thing: contingency. He didn't just plan for success, he planned for failure, for chaos, for the moments when everything went wrong. Every time his strategy hit a wall, he already had another path waiting, hidden, layered, and ready to activate. Where most men would panic, Michael adapted, turning disaster into opportunity. His brilliance wasn't in drawing one perfect blueprint, it was in building a web of backup plans, each one designed to anticipate betrayal, accidents, or sheer bad luck. That's what separated him from every other inmate. He understood that perfection doesn't exist, but preparation does. Today, we're breaking down the brilliance of Michael's contingency plans, how he turned setbacks into stepping stones, and how those hidden layers of strategy transformed an impossible prison break into an escape that became legend. Very first glimpse of Michael's genius wasn't in some grand plan, it was in something as small as a tool. The Allen wrench. He knew from the very beginning that Fox River would strip him of everything. No weapons, no resources, no tools. So instead, he carried the instructions for survival on his skin. Hidden in the intricate lines of his tattoo was the blueprint to create an Allen wrench, the exact tool needed to remove the bolts that locked away his path to freedom. But here's where his brilliance shines. Michael didn't just design the wrench, he designed alternatives. He knew prison was unpredictable. If the tool was ever discovered, if a guard ever searched his cell, or if Sucre's nervous curiosity ever compromised it, Michael wasn't doomed. His tattoo contained backup entry points, hidden pathways through Fox River's infrastructure, each one capable of replacing the other if disaster struck. This wasn't luck. This was the foundation of Michael's philosophy. Never put your faith in a single door. Always carve 2, 3, 4 hidden exits waiting in the shadows. With the Allen wrench, Michael proved a truth that would echo throughout his escape. Even the smallest detail was never just one plan. It was a web of contingencies. And that's why from day one, he was untouchable. When Sucre was transferred out of Michael's cell, everything could have unraveled. His new cellmate, Haywire, was sharp enough to spot patterns in Michael's tattoos. That should have been the end. But Michael had already prepared for disruption. He manipulated situations to get Sucre back. But if that failed, he was ready to pivot, keeping Haywire distracted and confused. Michael never treated cell assignments as chance. He had thought through who he could use, who he could trust, and who he could outsmart. That flexibility was survival. The escape wasn't built on a single tunnel. Michael studied every weak point in Fox River's design, from the infirmary to the underground pipes to the prison yard. If one pathway collapsed, another was already in place. When the tunnel caved in under pressure, most men would have given up, but Michael simply shifted, adapting the plan and adjusting timing. His tattoo wasn't a straight line to freedom, it was a web of routes and options. That's what made it nearly impossible to stop. Michael's contingencies weren't just physical, they were human. He knew people were unpredictable, so he treated alliances as movable pieces. A brute C for transportation, C-note for access, T-bag for manpower, Sucre for trust. If one turned on him, another could fill the gap. Even his relationship with Dr. Sarah Tancredi carried contingency. Her trust could open doors. But if she turned against him, Michael had alternate timing strategies to bypass her. To him, people weren't just allies. They were living plans, ready to be swapped when necessary. Perhaps the most brilliant contingency of all wasn't a tool, a tunnel, or a tattoo. It was Michael's ability to outsmart time itself. Lincoln's execution date wasn't just a looming deadline. It was the heartbeat of the entire escape. Every delay, every wrong move pushed his brother one step closer to the electric chair. Most men would crumble under that pressure. Michael turned it into strategy. When the governor refused a stay of execution, Michael didn't collapse into panic. He had already prepared multiple ways to stall the clock. He created intentional delays in the prison's operations, manipulated guard routines, and even orchestrated chaos too by just a few more minutes. From broken pipes to staged conflicts, every disruption wasn't random. It was designed to stretch time, to turn seconds into lifelines. And when Lincoln was strapped into the chair itself, with the switch ready to be pulled, Michael's failsafes still echoed through the system. He leveraged everything he could, from allies on the outside to last-minute appeals, ensuring that even at the very brink, there was always one more chance. That was Michael's true brilliance. He understood that time was his greatest enemy, but he treated it like another variable to be managed, manipulated, and controlled. His genius wasn't just in building an escape plan, it was in bending the most unforgiving force of all, time itself. Michael Scofield's brilliance didn't lie in one flawless straight-line plan. It was never about perfection. His true genius was in creating a maze of possibilities, dozens of imperfect, adaptable blueprints that could bend and shift with every setback. Every detour, every obstacle, every betrayal was already accounted for in some hidden corner of his mind, or inked into the cryptic designs of his tattoo. That tattoo wasn't just a map of Fox River's pipes and passages. It was a manual of contingencies, a survival guide disguised as art. Each line carried a backup. Each symbol carried an escape route. Each shadow hid another option. And that's why Michael survived where others would have broken. Most men in prison put everything on one desperate shot, one plan they prayed wouldn't fail. Michael was different. He knew that failure was inevitable, so he prepared for it, absorbed it, and turned it into a stepping stone. He didn't hope for luck. He built systems to outsmart bad luck itself. That's why his story still fascinates us, because brilliance isn't about never failing. It's about being ready for failure and turning it into victory. And Michael Scofield didn't just master that, he embodied it. While most men hoped their plan would work, Michael built a world where every possible failure had a key. That wasn't just intelligence. That was foresight. That was survival. That was brilliance.